type of respect I want you to talk about Russell Westbrook.
This is what I'm saying with Russell Westbrook. And I told Rob about this about great point guards. Great point guards don't win until they get older into their career. Without the exception of Steph Curry, he broke the mold. He broke the mold. But Westbrook was not going to be the guy that's he's not going to be the number one option on that team. He's not. And that's what I've been trying to tell you, that he's no longer that player.
I didn't say he had to be number one option in Brooklyn. In New York. I said he needed to be there to bring the intensity. Now, Russell Westbrook go further in the playoffs, whether that it ain't gonna be in Washington.
Listen, we're not gonna talk. Our Knicks is doing just fine without Russell Westbrook. We're doing just fine. Like I predicted. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. We're not talking about the Knicks today. I'm gonna bring up my RJ Barrett shirt right behind.
The Knicks at all?
We're not talking about the Knicks today.
You don't want to talk about that controversial ending of the game against the Nets?
They don't play with the hard way, yeah.
Through the hard way, we are back. Tariq Rashad, Just John, Mary Man, Rob.
Baby.
We talking NBA, man. We're gonna start off the show with a little bit of clapping for John's boy, Carmelo Anthony, has passed Hakeem Olajuwon, 13 all-time scoring. Melo, John, go ahead, give you some time to gloat, and we're gonna talk about Portland.
I just want to say, it's been a long time coming from Melo. It's definitely been a long time coming from Melo fans, where we thought that we would never see him cook up on the court, but it just shows you.
I think I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, because remember, after that OKC,
don't hang that all on OKC. Houston. After that, Houston.
I'm saying both. It was OKC and Houston. That debacle, the league blackballed my guy Melo. It's like he's not going to be able to conform to the role. He still think that he's a superstar. We don't want to deal with his attitude. Then he goes to Portland, contributes, shows that he's a leader, and now you're starting to see that he can play that back row. And I also feel like he found the perfect landing spot because Portland always gets hits with injuries. So there's going to be time for Melo to go Melo. That's
what it's been. It's been time for Melo to go Melo.
Yeah, he's been going Melo. And it just shows you what type of scorer he is, what type of talent that he is, that even at this age, he can still give you buckets. You see one of the most athletic guys going against him, and he makes him look bad. And Zion Williamson, when he took him to school on that island, as they call it, Melo Island. You get put on that island, you get Jade. You likely get Jade Cross, Hezzy, step back, whatever, however you want it. But it's great to see him pass Hakeem Olajuwon. And I think that he's still got more points to come, man. I think ultimately he's gonna break that top 9 list. And he'll land among the greats as he should. Hopefully he'll get a championship along the way. I don't know if that's going to happen with Portland, but I will say this. Last week we talked about Dame Dollar have scored 50, and last night he dropped 50 and came back with a game-winning win. So if he keep playing like that, who knows? Melo might get a championship. So I'm going to leave that right there.
You got the heart of a Knick, John. Shout out to Melo.
Go ahead, Tom.
I think we're all of us have now faced this. I think I was the last one to have to face our superstars hitting that twilight of their career, where they're on the downswing of their memorable years, if not closer to retirement. John, your favorite player being Carmelo, mine's being D Wade and Russell Westbrook. Rob with Kobe. And we watch Kobe for the better half of a season not be himself, but still have flashes of who the hell is, who that is. That's Kobe Bean Bryant. We watch D Wade kind of faded to the sunset with his miracle or his what were they calling it?
Father Prime.
Yes, Father Prime. Thank you. He had the Father Prime going on where the fourth quarter, he had these spurts where he would just be what you remember when he was 27, 28, 29, dominating the league. Melo, I felt like we were going to miss that. Melo had a bad year. He had a bad year in his last year in New York, especially with the media and being painted as the bad guy. And then came to OKC and he didn't perform. He went to Houston, and in his last game in Houston, he had 27. And the next thing you know, he's not on the court anymore. He's not on any team. And I thought we weren't going to get that with Melo, but I think Melo has transitioned well into this role of I'm not the guy, but I was the guy. And if you treat me like I'm not the guy, I'm going to show you what's up. I might not be able to do it 7, 8, 9, or 12 out of 15 games, but you play around with me.
Sure ball.
And, having somebody like Dame who's against the wind at all times, regardless, is definitely a plus for Melo. I'm looking at it with Russell Westbrook now, and him being that leader over with Washington is either going to open up a situation for him there, or it's going to open up a situation for him to be competitive with them in later years. Definitely not this year, but also possibly open up a situation for him to be traded to a team where he can make an impact like Melo. I've heard a little bit of Clipper rumbling lately. So I'm hoping that, my guy can transition as well as Melo can. Russell Westbrook is also going to be eclipsing a lot of those all-time lists when it comes to his position and when it comes to triple doubles and assists and things of that nature, points as well, possibly. So I think Melo is actually setting a great example of, adversity may hit you hard as shit, but he's done a great job bouncing back from it.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to slander Melo on this podcast, man. He's had a great NBA.
Not today.
Yeah, not today. He's had a great NBA career. It's very refreshing to see somebody throughout the course of their career really just grow up in the NBA, and to see how far he can go as far as his best abilities, which is to score the basketball. And anytime you pass Hakeem Olajuwon on any list is commendable. I will say this about the Houston and OKC experiment. How do I want to put this? Yeah, I think Melo sees a little bit of himself in Dame, and I think that's kind of why he was able to fall under his leadership and mesh into the role so much. And he's like, this is the guy that I will concede to. We one and the same. We killers the same way. Like, we may not win championships, but at the end of the day, people gonna remember our name as some of these greatest basketball players of all time. And I'm really happy for him that he has found his role in Portland. And, I want to see him keep on going and see how far he can take it.
Keeping it in the Western Conference, Anthony Edwards has been putting on a tear lately. I mean, granted, Minnesota is the worst team in the league right now. However, Anthony Edwards has definitely showed that he is not a bust. Far off from where he needs to be as the number one pick. So, what do we see? What do we see coming from Anthony Edwards right now?
I see 36% field goal percentage and a bunch of highlights.
Ooh, they were lucky that wasn't turned over. Anthony Edwards, that time he does finish.
That's what I see. Tired of this YouTube microwave culture. Tired of this. Ooh, Anthony Edwards. Ooh, he can dunk. Ooh, I got 34 one game. Ooh, do some consistency, man.
I see ISO on LeBron. I see the Tiger looking at the Tiger and going at him without fear. That's what I see. I see his confidence rising. I see him not backing down to anyone. I see him saying, listen, y'all thought I was a joke. Let me show you why I'm the number 1 overall pick, and I'm just getting started.
If Minnesota had a chance to redo this draft, they would have drafted LaMelo number 1.
I don't think so. I think that this kid is prime time. He's making, like, now that I'm watching the games and I'm watching him play, I'm starting to see his confidence grow. And I'm also starting to see that, remember, he scored 34, 37 against your Lakers while LeBron guarded him. So you want to talk about
37 years old?
I'm 36! I'm 36!
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Buckets on the old LeBron.
You're right. And Kobe played Michael. And when he was about 40-something years old and laced it up and said, lace up 2. I ain't trying to hit it. And you forget that Kobe Bryant, the one that you're saying Kobe Bryant almost shot like 30-something% from the field goal his rookie year. So don't get me started, Mr. Hunter.
Are you comparing, number one, comparing LaMelo, no, Anthony Edwards to Kobe? That's what you doing right now?
Who said that? Who said that? Who am I saying that? Who said that?
I'm not comparing him to Kobe Bryant. I'm saying that he's a dog.
His last 4 games, you say show you some consistency. His last 4 games, he's shooting 45%, 45%, 50%, 50%, over 40 from 3. That's 27 points, 21 points, 34 points, 29 points. So,
and 2 of them games came against the Lakers.
Them junks is garbage buckets. Them sound like Kevin Martin.
Sound like what?
Are you discrediting his scoring ability, Rob?
Bro, you hate that. That's hate. That's hate.
Here's what I'm saying, man.
Man, if a man's
he ain't deserving
over 25 in 4 games, shooting 48%, 40 plus from the 3-point line, you hating. You hating. Those last 4 games is just as good as anything LaMelo's done all year. Is it not?
It's not consistent. It's not as consistent as
I'm gonna tell you why it's not. I'm gonna tell you why it's not.
And LaMelo's team making the playoffs right now.
The Hornets is 4-0. So I don't mean nothing. Losses.
I'm just talking about individual stats.
Two of Minnesota's wins came in those last 4 games too. 2 of their 9 wins all season came in those last 4 games too. Not the same, but it's similar.
Boo this man!
All right. Rumor mill about LaMarcus Aldridge and Andre Drummond. So those are, and also Hassan Whiteside, Russell Westbrook, some of the bigger names that can be bought out, big name contracts that aren't really turning out to what these teams are moving forward. Outside of Russell Westbrook, these teams have decided to move forward from these players. What guys you got making an impact on a contending team, and where? What you got going on here in your minds? What you thinking, Mr. Robinson?
Spicy on this one, man. I'm gonna start by saying, of course, the Lakers need all the help we can get. So if we can get Aldridge or Drummond, that'll be awesome. However, if them Clippers can get Russell Westbrook, boy, I feel like his mentality, and we've seen this with other players like Bradley Beal, like Kevin Durant, like Oladipo, and I don't want to give him that much credit for Oladipo and Sabonis, but we've seen his impact and what he's done to players and how they have improved after playing with him. If he can rub off of Paul George, Clippers going to be
in because we missed 2 years.
Listen, man, it's one of those.
Paul did not. It worked magically during the regular season. Paul George, I believe, finished in the top 3 in the MVP race 1 year in OKC. But it ended out with really disappointing first round exits.
I see 3 Cali kids ready to take back over LA.
That would be cool.
If Russell Westbrook goes to the Clippers, he's exactly what they're missing. He's a guy. This is why I'll say that. Yes, Pat Beverly has a lot of energy, but Pat Beverly can't do and lead. That's the most part. Lead like a Russell Westbrook. And I'm not talking about a Russell Westbrook leading in points and stuff like that. I mean like his energy on the court and his willingness to come and bring it every night. That's what the Clippers.
Pat Beverly got.
No.
Russell Westbrook has over him is skill. The ability to put the ball in the basket multiple times.
Pat Beverly can't get you a triple-double every night.
Right.
Pat Beverly
he can play hard. That's literally why Patrick Beverly is still in the league.
Yes, but he's not. We know that Patrick Beverly is not the same caliber player as Russell Westbrook. We're not going to
tell him why, John. You're not about to walk in on the side of the bus of the Russell Westbrook train. Nah. I'm not
on the Russell Westbrook train. I'm not on the Russell Westbrook train.
My man's on season. You're not gonna come in with a half-ass compliment and then say he's what they need because Patrick Beverley can't bring that intensity. No, Patrick Beverley can't bring them points. Patrick Beverley can't bring them assists. Patrick Beverley can't bring them rebounds. He probably can bring them turnovers, but not at the Russ clip. But he can't bring those dunks. He can't bring. Ah!
That was it?
All of that. But mostly it's the first three, which is the skill
bring the best
playing
out
the
of
active
George.
position.
He can't
This
bring the
That's
best.
the type of respect I want you to talk about Russell Westbrook.
This is what I'm saying with Russell Westbrook. And I told Rob about this about great point guards. Great point guards don't win until they get older into their career. Without the exception of Steph Curry, he broke the mold. He broke the mold. But Westbrook was not going to be the guy he's not going to be the number one option on that team. He's not. And that's what I've been trying to tell you, that he's no longer that player.
I didn't say he had to be number one option in Brooklyn. In New York. I said he needed to be there to bring the intensity. Now, Russell Westbrook go further in the playoffs, whether that it ain't gonna be in Washington.
Listen, we're not gonna talk. Our Knicks is doing just fine without Russell Westbrook. We're doing just fine. Like I predicted. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. We're not talking about the Knicks today. I'm gonna bring up my RJ Barrett shirt right behind.
The Knicks at all?
We're not talking about the Knicks today.
You don't want to talk about that controversial ending of the game against the Nets?
I don't, because
the intensity that Julius Randle brought. He ain't look like a kid in the street. He looked like his nickname was Boston. And he was in 44 Park, soul in a hole, like my ball.
We can talk about it. Bro, we can talk about it. I love the intensity that Julius Randle showed. Like, we not accepting losing no more. We're not accepting it. And that's what he was saying. I'm not accepting that. You cheated me on the call. And over these last two games, guess we played the top two teams in the East. And we was right there in that ball game.
Let me interject. Y'all lost to the Nets without KD, and then y'all lost to Philly without Joel Embiid.
And now y'all
the top two seeds.
Fifth, John, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna act like you're not AC right now.
We are AFC. I'm not. Mind you, like I said, Derrick Rose is out. I told y'all.
Derrick Rose is out. Oh, okay.
I told you how much of a difference Derrick Rose was. And y'all looking at me like, oh man, Derrick Rose, I don't understand the trade.
Told you Derrick Rose was out.
I'm Derrick Rose. I mean, Ephraim Payton, was he getting minutes when Derrick Rose was there?
Yes.
Payton was getting minutes. Derrick Rose came and they changed the whole rotation. Ephraim Payton's getting less minutes.
Less minutes, right?
Quickly is getting more minutes, like I said he should.
I said Atlanta make the playoffs.
I said Atlanta's gonna make the playoffs too.
I don't know about Toronto, Rob. I'm still not jacking Toronto.
I'm not jacking Toronto.
Rob did talk about Miami jumping way up there. Rob did tell you Miami with
Jimmy Butler. Hey, let's talk about this quote, bro. It's not quote time. I'm gonna preview it. I'm gonna preview the quote.
All right.
Colin Cowherd, that's his name, said, outside of LeBron James, Jimmy Butler is the most valuable player in the NBA.
All right, and we will come back to that to start off quotes. Now, next segment.
Don't play hot with the hard way.